it's as often as not they bring it in and don't present it the first time they bring it into the rink in the final.
He had Larionov open in front of the goal too. Hill nearly lost it to Larionov. 1:20 left. Is the cup to be presented tonight? The crowd is stiffening now. Red Wings get it to the line. One goal will do it. It's Hull centering it. Up there, Robitaille shot it behind the goal. 1 minute left to play in regulation time. There goes Arthur Zerbe. Here come the Hurricanes. The shot is deflected wide of the net. Cleared up on the boards. Dumped away to the line. There goes Shanahan. Empty net. Scores! Shanahan does it. That's gonna be it, baby. That is gonna be it, baby. Shanahan's second of the game. The crowd is singing. Everybody's happy tonight, except this man and the Hurricanes. Hašek is going to get his first Stanley Cup. This is thunderous here in Detroit. Hockeytown, USA.
Have another look at the goal here. Some good work by Detroit to get the puck out on the board. They've done it so many times in this playoff. The Carolina Hurricanes are complaining that the puck hit a Red Wing on the bench after it was chipped off the glass to Shanahan. But they're not going to win the argument. And the Detroit Red Wings are right there ready to do it, Bob.
Scotty Bowman is going to set another record in just a minute. 44.5 seconds. 9 Stanley Cups. He shares the record with Toe Blake. Scotty says, don't ever compare me with Toe Blake. He was the very best. He won his 8 cups in just 13 seasons. This is my 32nd, Bob. Tonight is Scotty's 36th finals win, another record. I say to you, William Scott Bowman, take a bow, Scotty. Your numbers may stand forever.
If it is true that he's hanging them up, what a great time to do it. And I
yes,
think it's
sir.
True.
Yes, sir. Down the ice, and Irbe is back in goal. Valiant effort by the Carolina Hurricanes. No question about it. Into 4 rounds. There goes Irbe again. They're not going to quit. They'll keep doing something, try to get something going. Only 20 seconds left in which to do it. You can't do that, guys. That is just too much. 12 seconds. I'll let them count you down to another Stanley Cup.
Bowman went right into the dressing room, Bob. Get his skates again?
Yes.
Maybe he's going to get a stick and a puck and shoot one in the net for it.
It's raining confetti at the Joe Louis Arena. The Stanley Cup will be carried out onto the ice. And look at this. Is this a scene or what? Hockeytown, USA. Olsen, Datsuk, Robitaille, and Hašek. Brand new Stanley Cup names.
Skill and confidence are an unconquered army. The Detroit Red Wings have both.
The business visit with Brendan Shanahan.
Right, Bob Cole, here is Brendan Shanahan, 2 goals tonight. It's so hard to get. What was the measure of this team and this championship, Brendan?
Just teamwork, sticking together. People said all year long we run out of gas. At this time of year that there weren't enough pucks to go around for all the shooters, but we didn't care who scored. We didn't care who was the star in that night. A different guy stepped up every night, and our depth prevailed.
You've been here before, but you incorporated new people into this team. Brett Hull, Dominik Hašek, Luke Robitaille, Fred Olofsson. What did they mean in the end?
They were inspirational for us. A guy like Luke Robitaille, he came here coming from playing 23, 24 minutes a game to playing 12, 14 on some nights. Positive all year long. Scored some key goals for us in the playoffs. It was awesome. We're going to get back over there.
Good luck, Brendan. Thank you.
Shanahan got the goal, his 8th of the playoffs in 1915. That salted this thing away. And who do you think got the puck up to Brendan Shanahan for that break at the empty net? Steve Yzerman. And here comes the coach with the skates.
I think Walt Whitman had it best regarding Yzerman when he said, "Oh, Captain, my Captain, our fearful trip is done. The ship has weathered every rack. The prize we sought has won."
That's number 9 for Scotty. We've already mentioned that. He set a record for most wins in the Stanley Cup. Playoff. Most cuts now by a coach. Passing his hero, Toe Blake. Hašek gets his trophy. Here's Scott.
Oh, Scotty's just on his way over here. Scotty, real quick. Congratulations, Scott. 9 Stanley Cups, but what are you thinking about most right now?
Oh, what a win. That's the most I'm thinking about. For the guys that didn't win, before. Thanks.
I know, are you going to come back, Scotty?
I'm going to talk about it after.
Guys, there you go.
After the British Open, he's going to Muirfield. I told you that the other night, and that's all he could think about that afternoon. He's got a great trip coming up for the British Open.
When he brings the cup to East Amherst, all the members of the Transit Valley Golf Club get a tee time so they can pass his backyard on the 6th hole, veer off the course, get their picture with the cup, play the rest of the golf game.
And that'll happen again.
Yes, it will.
As Harry mentions, he lives close to Scotty at East Amherst, New York, right on the golf course. Your game hasn't improved all that much, though.
He still beats me. He's got the touch around the green.
He's a legend, and no doubt about it. Hašek, World Championships, gold medals, and now a Stanley Cup.
Nick Lidström, 3rd Stanley Cup. Congratulations. What are you thinking about in terms of how this victory was made?
I thought we had 4 solid lines going for us. We had good balance on our lines, and Dom played great for us back there.
You partnered with Fredrik Olofsson for a while, a guy who had not won a Stanley Cup through many years. Your thoughts about him and how you worked together?
It's been great playing with Freddie. He's really easy to play with. He's really helped me out making the first outlet pass, and it's just great for him to finally hoist the cup.
Thank you. Good luck, Nick.
Thank you, Scott.
Over to Scott Oak.
All right, here's Paul Maurice. Paul, great run by the Carolina Hurricanes. How are you going to look back on it?
Well, I think we'll take some time. Thanks, Luke. We'll take some time and feel the pain for a little bit while, but still too early. You don't get to this point unless you really believe you can win, which makes it quite a bit more painful when you don't.
You think the Carolina Hurricanes have established themselves as one of the NHL's elite?
For this year, and we started all again in September.
Thank you, Paul. Congratulations.
A hearty congratulations, Paul Maurice. Any moment now, we'll hear the announcement as to who has won the Conn Smythe Trophy as the most valuable player in the Stanley Cup playoffs of 2002.
Vladimir Konstantinov, struggling to get out on the ice, watches every warm-up from the Detroit bench. The players greet him on the way out and greet him on the way in.
Here again, let's visit with Scotty Bowman.
Thanks very much, Bob. And I know you and Harry were talking about Scotty. You said something to me just a moment ago, Scotty. What's up?
Well, it's my last game as a coach. You know, I've been thinking about it. I made up my mind on the break, at the Olympic break. We got lucky again. I had a little bit of a rest, but I'm happy to go out now.
People are so happy, and yet they will be disappointed and miss you. What will you think about in terms of this night and where it might fit in all those great victories, Scotty?
Well, I got many people to thank, but the first person I have to thank obviously is my wife, who stood right beside me for the last 30 plus years. And I'd like to say a special thank you to Sam Pollock, because 46 years ago, he gave me my first job in hockey, going to Ottawa. So thanks very much, Sam.
Thank you very much, Scotty, and best to you.
Thank you.
Guys.
What will Scotty do now? He's a hockey man through and through.
He has a contract to be a consultant with the Detroit Red Wings. He told me for 3 more years. So he said, I'll be going to games, but I don't have to win them.
Oh, yeah. Quite a story. Scotty Bowman, winning as coach, adding another Stanley Cup tonight here in Detroit. Red Wings win the series in 5 games with a 3-1 victory tonight over the Carolina Hurricanes. Soon we'll hear the announcement of the Conn Smythe Trophy winner.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome National Hockey League Commissioner Gary Bettman to present the Conn Smythe Trophy to the 2002 Stanley Cup Playoffs Most Valuable Player.
I come bearing gifts. The first one is the Conn Smythe Trophy, and it is awarded to Nicklas Lidström.
Choice, Bob. This guy won the Norris Trophy, played more minutes than anybody else every night, led the defenseman in scoring, and it's terrific to see a defenseman be recognized for this trophy.
The crowd is just settling into that announcement now. They were waiting with bated breath, and you know they were thinking of, well, we'll let that be now. But when he said Nicklas Lidström, was a moment of gathering together, and then they all stood and roared, and they're still applauding. That's a great, great decision.
The Atlantic Ocean isn't nearly as wide as it used to be. This is the first European to win the Conn Smythe Trophy.
Once again, here's Scott Oakley.
Bob, thanks very much. It was 20 years ago that Mike Ilitch bought the Detroit Red Wings, and boy, you spent a fortune on the team since. How does that investment seem tonight?
Seems like a real smart investment, but I tell you what, we had some great leadership from Steve Yzerman. We had 5 or 6 players could have been captain of our team. They set their egos aside and made up their mind and wanted to go after the cup. And I was just very, very happy though at team play. You know, I'm really excited about it. It was great. It was a great, great victory.
Mr. Ilitch, your reaction to Scotty Bowman's announcement? I don't know if you've heard it, but he has announced that he's retiring. He's coached his last game.
I know. He just had a big hug and he whispered in my ear. He said, "It's time, Mike. I gotta go." So I said, "Scotty, thank you so much for the 3 Stanley Cups. I'm indebted to you for life."
Thank you, Mr. Ilitch. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So it's official now. He's told us, and he's told the owner.
And I think his team knows, and they didn't.
Yeah. They could have chosen Yzerman. They could have chosen Hašek. They chose Nicklas Lidström, and everybody is happy with that. Oh, yes. Great choice.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Stanley Cup.
3 Stanley Cup championships in 6 years, and great fans. That's why Detroit is Hockeytown. Let's first congratulate the Carolina Hurricanes on a great season and for their great fans in the Carolinas. Tonight is because Mike and Marian Ilitch have a passion for the game, a passion for Detroit, and a passion for the Red Wings. Congratulations to them. Jim Devellano and Ken Holland put it all together. Scotty Bowman is the coach by which all other coaches are measured. And when you look at these great players, the first reaction is, let's give them the keys to the Hall of Fame. But not tonight. Tonight they are in the Stanley Cup. Steve Yzerman, come get it.
Scotty carries the puck one more time. Steve Yzerman, he may have more. As Harry mentioned earlier, he's got operations coming up this summer and a rehabilitation time that's going to take.
What a double-barrel shotgun it would be if Hašek says he's not coming back.
Robitaille, first time. Luke Robitaille, prolific scorer in the National Hockey League, holding the cup for the first time. They all tell you, I've always dreamed of holding this cup. I wonder what it's like. And here's another first-time guy, Steve Duchesne. Now you know what it's like, Steve. It must be a great feeling.
Steve Yzerman has orchestrated this to have players, those ones that have not won the cup but have played a pile of hockey. After Scotty Bowman grabbed it, they get it first.
Olsen is the other who has not won a cup till tonight. Look at this. The veteran Chelios. You keep talking about veterans with this team. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Talk about veterans. Look at this.
What a thrill for this guy. One game, name on the cup. Gets a chance to hoist it over his head. Played a lot, played well tonight.
Darn right he played well. Yuri Slager, Harry is talking about. Had to come in when Fisher had to serve a game suspension. And Fisher gets his shot. Preston all had to get ready to come out and do this.
Devereaux, a nice addition to this team 2 years ago. Didn't play a lot his first year, but was a good member of that fourth line. If you can number the lines 1 through 4, he nearly couldn't play after a very severe concussion. The Red Wings took a chance on him and signed him as a free agent.
Handano was a winger. Scotty said, you can play defense and we're going to help you do it. And brother, has he turned out to be great back there. Let's visit with Scott Oak again.
Bob, thanks very much. Here's what. Okay, Bob, thanks very much. Here's one of the architects of the Stanley Cup, Kenny Holland. Kenny, 8 regulars, 35 years of age or older, but in the end, was age an advantage?
Well, I don't know. It was an incredible journey. We had so many people step up at different times. Game 7 against Colorado, Luke Robitaille, I was just telling him, never forget the first period. Dominik Hašek threw out. But I think that we had a lot of guys that wanted it so bad.
And they got it. Thank you, Kenny.
What?
And said, and they got it.
We're absolutely thrilled. It's been an incredible 2-month run.
Okay, here's Scott Russell with Steve Yzerman. Scott.
Thank you, Scott. Here is the captain of the Red Wings. This victory was hard won, even though it may have been expected in some ways. Can you reflect on it now?
Well, I thought our team got better with each round of the playoffs. We won this series in 5, but Carolina forced us to play our best, and we really responded, played really well, and we really had to earn it. It's really gratifying because we battled hard. We were able to beat a tremendous Colorado team in a tough Game 6 and come back and beat them in Game 7. Our team really worked hard, and I think this might be the most satisfying of the 3 Stanley Cups we won.
Steve, I want Mark, our camera, to show your daughter Isabella, who is here. Generations of hockey people. From her, you go right to a mentor for you, Scotty Bowman, who told us tonight, that's my last game. I'm finished, and what a way to go. Can you think about that?
Well, he said that to me after the game ended right away, and all I can think of is what a tremendous job he's done with our team. He turned our organization around, and he taught everybody what's important, what you have to do to win. There's no way we'd be here. We wouldn't have 3 Stanley Cups without him. He turned it all around for us, and he kept us going, kept us motivated. He's just been tremendous.
One of the wonderful things about the Wings, Steve, is each year it seems you accept different and great players into your lineup. Brett Hull comes back here. Dominik Hašek, Luc Robitaille, guys who have not won as many cups. They have been important, haven't they?
Absolutely. Everybody at some point, at some game in each series, everybody stepped up with a big game or a big play in a certain game. Just a tremendous team effort. And that is derived from Scotty's attitude. It's the only thing that matters is winning, and the only thing that matters is a team. So you have to find a way to be effective, find a way to contribute, and everybody does that.
Steve, I hope you enjoy this victory very much. Good luck to you and your family.
Scott. Thank you very much.
They're all getting their turns, carrying the cup, and here's Fedorov getting a great cheer from this crowd.
Red Wings are so organized, Bob. They've got this part of the Stanley Cup celebrations orchestrated. And let me give the NHL a gigantic plug for keeping the cameraman off the ice so everybody could share this moment.
Just about everybody has carried the cup now, and there's Konstantinov being presented the cup by Fedorov. He's pointing to that great defenseman with the Detroit Red Wings, who we might happily report, that he's better now. Not quite all the way, of course, but he knows what it's all about. He can't speak to you now. He comes to the games. He greets the players as they leave the ice after the warm-up. And look what he's going to do now. He's going to lift the Stanley Cup again, like he did before. I told you he was better. Look at this. This crowd is something else too. They're stayed here, over 20,000, have not moved, won't miss a trick, and they're standing all the way through this.
The Black Aces, Bob, are out there, the players that have practiced for 8 weeks, and many of them not get into a game or dressed in their uniforms and are out on the ice. And you saw Bowman. He's going around saying to them, you were a vital part of this victory. Even though you didn't play, we knew we could go to you. And Slager proved it tonight.
Scott Russell.
Thank you, Bob. Luc Robitaille, 16 years in this league, 600 and more goals, 150 playoff games and more, and now the Stanley Cup. Can you reflect on that?
I don't even know what to say. I mean, played my whole life, my whole career. That's what we play for, and I don't even know what to say. It feels so good.
You came to a team that had so many great stars, Steve Yzerman and Hašek in the net, and Brett Hull was there, Brendan Shanahan. What has it been like for you, a star in your own right, to play in this group?
It's been like a dream. I mean, every time you go on the ice, you got a chance to make a great play or scoring chance, but the fact that everybody set the same goal just to win as a team, it's been the best feeling. I mean, there was no individual on our team, and that's why we won, and what a great feeling when you play with so many stars and everybody played towards the same goal. It's just unbelievable.
Luke, I saw your wife Stacia in the crowd tonight and your 2 children. Do you think of them at a time like this, and what have they given to you?
Well, it was a huge sacrifice this year. We split apart, they did like a lot of mileage. They came every week or every 2 weeks, and it was tough on their school and so forth, and what a great feeling it is to finally do it. I mean, we did a sacrifice as a family.
All right, you got a team picture again. Good luck, Luke.
Yes, they've just called the photographer out, and this is the last organized thing to be done on the ice tonight here at the Joe Louis Arena. The picture. We don't have to say anything else, just that it's the picture. Fire away, guys. We've got a few minutes for this.
Well, when you win the President's Trophy for the most points during the season and then you duplicate that achievement in the playoffs, it doesn't always happen that way. And the pressure's been on Detroit since the start of the year with the kind of free agents they added. They stumbled a couple of times in the playoffs but regained their balance, and the big prize, so deservedly so, is there.
I don't think Scotty wants to get up.
There's Scotty's daughter.
Brendan Shanahan, 2 goals in the game. Pull it to the top corner, and then the on-icer into the empty net.
When you stroll into Scotty's basement where he's got his trophy room, you think you're in the Hall of Fame. The pictures, the trophies, nobody is going to duplicate his coaching record.
We're going to hear from Dominik Hašek now. He is with Scott Russell.
Thank you, Bob. Yes, here is Dominik Hašek. Finally, the Stanley Cup. Your thoughts about this great victory tonight?
First of all, thanks, to the Detroit. I could come here, and make this journey come true. It's just my dream came true, and I tell you one thing, I never seen more excited building like here, this building tonight. It was something I couldn't even imagine. It's a fantastic feeling, and I'm so happy.
You had said before that, yes, I had an Olympic gold medal. I've got the 6 Vezina trophies, but was this perhaps the most important thing?
It was exactly after winning so many individual trophies, I never won this team trophy, and I was, what can I say, it was a dream, but you know what, to play for Stanley Cup is 2 long months, you are up and down, you work through the injuries, and all of a sudden it came to the last game, and we won the last game, and I'm so happy, for everyone here.
What was it like for you to come to such a wonderful group of hockey players? Brett Hull, Brendan Shanahan, Steve Yzerman, the list goes on and on.
Yeah, and coaches and all the whole organization. I mean, you know what? It was better than I expected. The great regular season. We worked so hard to be in the first place, so to have the home ice advantage, and we used it against Colorado in the semifinals. And we done our job in the final. There is no better feeling than I am telling you, to raise this Stanley Cup.
I know you've worked so hard, but would you like to come back?
Tough question. Give me 3-4 days. Sit with my wife. I'm so happy she's here with me, and my son could see it. It was his dream too. I worked for a long time. Twice I was so close, but finally I made it. And we made it. I'm so happy.
Enjoy, Dominik.
Thank you.
Somebody mentioned to Sergei Fedorov the other day, what do you think? Would Dominik Hašek come back for another season? And Fedorov said, forget about it. He'll be back. He's a great goalie. He's proved that so many times. And now the Stanley Cup. Number 10 for the Detroit Red Wings. Montreal is 23, Toronto 13. The Red Wings are coming on. This is number 10 tonight.
The Stanley Cup playoffs on Hockey.
That's the scene outside Joe Louis Arena where the Red Wings have just won the Stanley Cup. Scotty Bowman, 50 years ago, he was a left winger for Sam Pollock and the junior Habs. And he left that. He did play 2 more years after the hit by Jean-Guy Talbot, but he went to work for Sherwin-Williams. And eventually, Scotty brought him back as a coach. But he loved paints. Remember the other day he was saying he loved the red seats at Joe Louis Arena, and those fans obviously have painted the town red tonight.
Went to Ottawa Hull, and I played against that team in the EPHL. Started them off there. I'm sure he's thinking of his brother Jack, who died 4 years ago. Anniversary is yesterday. He was a scout in Buffalo for Scotty, and I'm sure he's thinking of him too. He was a great guy. He was a younger brother too.
You know, it is unbelievable. He was 32 years old when he coached in his first Stanley Cup in 1968 with the St. Louis Blues. So here's Paul Maurice, 35, got 3 years on him. And Paul have a bright future. I thought, Don, that Carolina, that triple overtime game, they were a minute away from going up to the series.
Think of that there. If they score that goal, it's all different. But that's the old guys come through, like Hall, like I said before. Experience comes through. Hurricanes did a great job, and I think Paul Maurice did a great job. The whole organization did a great job, but I think they should have opened up a little more. That's the only thing I got to say. I want to say, you're going to ask, what, have I got to go somewhere?
Let's go to Sergei Fedorov. We'll come back to the Conn Smythe. Scott.
Thank you, Ron. Sergei Fedorov here in the Red Wing room, one of the first to appear early on.
Early off.
Yeah, congratulations.
You
you said, you're so happy you won, but you're so happy it's over. It's a long haul, isn't it?
Yeah, it took us only 104 games to finish that, but it's been a long run, long season, including Olympics. That obviously, play this certain thing for us, and. It's been long playoffs, no question about it.
It's a wonderful hockey team. Can you comment on the group of guys that you got here? Not only the guys that have been here, Shanahan and Yzerman and all the rest, but the new guys that come, Hall and Robitaille and Hašek and others.
And Boyd Devereaux and Pavel Datsyuk and everybody, Brett Hall, and everybody play well and glue together well. It looks like we have certain group ages that perform certain chemistry, and we've been fortunate to play as well tonight as we did throughout the whole season. And I consider myself a very lucky person, because it doesn't happen often in a career where you can compete for Stanley Cup 3-4 times in a row.
I wonder what the reason for it coming together in Detroit year after year tends to be. And I don't mean to put words in your mouth, but could part of it be Scotty Bowman?
Absolutely. With experienced coach, we do experience things. We do reasonable things. We prepare ourselves. We're doing everything possible, and plus leadership from the veterans like Steve Yzerman and the rest of the crew. But I think our captain did an amazing job, and he told me he's tired, man. He's tired what he went through, especially with his knee and everything. And I just fortunate guy to play with him in the same line, and I'm glad I had a chance to play and to finish it right and to win the cup, and it was wonderful feelings out there.
Sergei, thanks very much and enjoy your victory.
Thanks very much.
Sergei Fedorov, Ron.
All right, Scott, on that note.
Isn't it funny to watch Chelios with those old Coopers? They got to be 20, 25 years old. Look at them there. I tell you, it's unbelievable. Shanahan's got the same thing, and all the guys, they must do good. They never have shoulder injuries, but look at them. Think about all the stuff they have, the equipment, the guys with the big monsters. Take a look at those, eh?
Think of Todd Bertuzzi ramming them from behind. That was another key to the series for me. These guys, but don't forget they were down 2-0 with Vancouver, and everybody was writing them off. Lidström's goal.
Lidström's goal.
Maybe he gets the Conn Smythe Trophy for the bomb.
Well, you're going to ask me now who? Well, I know it's coming.
Sergei mentioned Stevie Y, so you're on.
Mr. Illich mentioned Stevie first. Sergei mentioned Stevie first. And I'm not knocking Lidström. He's a great defenseman. He got 11 points, but this guy led the team in the playoffs that are playing right now. He played on it with one knee. He's the captain. As far as I'm concerned, you could hear a moment's silence because everybody thought it was going to be Stevie. I'm not throwing a damper on anything. You're asking me who I thought should win it. I think most of the people thought Stevie Yzerman. Those 11 writers.
15 vote, 4 from each of the two cities here, and then 7 others. It's the Curtis Joseph syndrome, Don. It's a guy that has been so good so long that maybe he got. And you know what? You could almost throw a blanket over what 5 guys.
I've been reading in Canada. I've been reading all the writers here now. There's about 15 write-ups that are saying this is the year for the Europeans. So as in Canada, we try to accommodate everybody. And a guy like Stevie Yzerman, one leg going to be out 6 to 7 months. Everybody talking about him for 2 months. What a job he's doing, blocking shots and everything. And he doesn't win it. You ask me?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Stevie Yzerman should have won it.
He'd be my pick too.
Absolutely.
Paul, do you have that? Oh, do you want to interview here? Okay. We'll take a break. We'll come back with some of the keys through the first 3 rounds. The Detroit Red Wings capture their 10th cup. Gold medals for Stevie Y and Brendan Shanahan. And a cup in the same year, joining Ken Morrow in 1980. Back in a moment. Back on form, the 1950s style. 3 goaltenders, Chris Osgood, Mike Vernon, and now Dominik Hašek. It's like Harry Lumley, Terry Sawchuk, and Glenn Hall. They seem to have been able to forge great teams with different men in net. Luc Robitaille, the other thing about this is Hašek, there's a Duchesne, wasn't even drafted. Luc Robitaille was picked in the 9th round, won a Calder Trophy. Dominik Hašek was selected in the 10th round. Brett Hull in the 6th round. So all these new guys that came over, it took a while for them to get recognized. They're having a moment tonight again. Brett Hull, you can't say enough. He went, you mentioned Scotty really got him turned around with Bobby Hull Jr. earlier, but Ken Hitchcock, he played good two-way hockey for Ken, and even Keenan, I thought a little bit.
Well, I think that Scotty, when I talked to him up in the stands here the other night, he had a feeling, as he was talking, I had a feel this guy isn't going to be back. I think it's for Stu Ella, that I think they finally said, look, you've been traveling around enough, let's settle down, let's go out a winner, because most guys hang around too long. He hasn't, and you couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
I'll ask you about Hašek after this. Here's Igor Larionov and Scott Russell.
Right, Ron, the senior statesman in the National Hockey League. Igor Larionov, another point tonight in this great Red Wing victory. A comment on the victory, Igor, which is not the first for you.
Well, this is a phenomenal feeling right now. So it's city going nuts right now, and the fans, and it's been incredible. And it's nice to be Stanley Cup champion again and bring the cup home.
We had a talk yesterday, as a matter of fact, about your coach and his allowance for creativity. And tonight he said, I've coached my last game. Can you think about that?
I heard that from Scotty, and it's really sad news. It's been a privilege to play for Scotty Bowman. He's such a great coach and human being. So I had a great time, and for me it's a joy to play for Scotty. And it's a glorious day today, but it's a sad day because he's not going to come back. So that's really sad.
What are you going to do, Igor? I mean, you got to make a decision, don't you?
Well, let me enjoy it for a while, Scott. So let me get a couple of weeks off and just enjoy it and relax and see what next for me.
What about this hockey team? You've played for some great ones. This seems to be a wonderful collection of players.
Well, it's been a phenomenal feeling to play for this team, and especially the guys. And I think it's one of the best teams ever been played together. So it's a privilege for me to be part of that team and success.
Igor, congratulations. Enjoy your victory.
Thank you very much, Scott. Thank you.
Igor Larionov, Ron.
Scott, thanks a lot. Scotty Bowman followed Badger Bob Johnson, of course, back into the coaching ranks in Pittsburgh. Ron Francis became captain in Pittsburgh in Hartford, I should say, when Mark Johnson moved on to the St. Louis Blues. Here's the Carolina captain, Scott Oak.
Okay, Ron, I don't think the 4-1 result in the Stanley Cup final really does justice to the effort put in by the Hurricanes, but in the end, where do you think your team fell short?
Well, I think we just ran into a team that was extremely talented, and they've got a lot of guys that are going to be in the Hall of Fame. They've got a lot of guys with a lot of playoff experience, and they're just not an easy team to rattle this time of year, and we fought as hard as we could. It just wasn't good enough.
Boy, this was a landmark series for a lot of people in the Carolina organization. Your coach, Jeff O'Neill, many others. How do you look at it?
Well, there's a lot of positive things for our organization, our team to take out of this, as you mentioned, and we continue to move in the right direction, and hopefully, next year we'll get better. I mean, you come this close because you believe you can accomplish it, you don't get it done. It certainly hurts, and hopefully that'll make us stronger and more determined for next year.
All right, you're 39. What are your plans? You're a free agent.
Well, we're going to sit down with Jimmy Rutherford in the next few weeks and hopefully work something out. I'd certainly like to come back, and I'm sure we'll get something done.
So you have every intention of playing again?
I do, yes.
Well, you got a lot left, Ron. Thanks for your time. Congratulations on a great run.
Thank you very much, Scott. Appreciate it.
Now, here's round one. Just to recap how Detroit won this cup. That's that bomb. It was 1-1. Detroit had taken 4 penalties in a row. Very uncharacteristic, but Lidström scored to make it 2-1, and then Dominik Hašek in that critical third game, stopping Todd Bertuzzi. He came back to Joe Louis Arena for Game 5 and pitched a 4-0 shutout. Then against St. Louis, it was all Pronger versus Yzerman, 2 Hart Trophy winners. And how would it pan out? Well, Stevie Y, they got through the first 2 games, then the Blues blasted them 6-1 in Game 3, and it started to look as if the Blues were gaining some momentum. But here's the pivotal moment of that series.
DVR. Why, you don't remember here now. Don't forget the fans, they're great here, but they were booing them when they left the ice. Remember that time? I remember them talking and said, it doesn't help at all for the fans booing, but they come back. Poor Shanahan hit the post how many times? Unbelievable.
That was Game 5. It put him down, but they came back. Ironically, Shanahan got the game winner in Game 6. So he had a couple of closing out games that were just tremendous, including this evening with a 2-goal performance, goals 7 and 8 on the playoffs. We'll all be sleeping over that one goal in Game 6 that really opened the door for Dominik Hašek to put together back-to-back shutouts, and he put, again, 2 shutouts together here to run his record to 6 for the Stanley Cup playoffs. And Hašek, Don?
Well, they're talking that will he be back? They offer him another $7 or $8 million. You can't earn that over in Czechoslovakia. In fact, you could buy Czechoslovakia with $8 million. He'll be back. This team can go again like this for another 2 years at least.
The only father-son tandem ever to win the Hart Trophy. And here's Brett Hall with Scott.
Thank you, Ron. And Brett, Stanley Cup is second, this time with the Red Wings' new team, but is the feeling an old one?
Well, I tell you what, it's. I guess there's nothing like your first one, but this is very special to be a part of this organization, the history and tradition, and the players that I've been fortunate enough to play with here, and to be coached by a legend. It is a great feeling, and I guess being the second one, I'll be able to feel and enjoy it and know what to expect and get a little more out of it, but both of them are so wonderful.
I noticed you applauding vociferously when Scotty took that Stanley Cup and put it over his head. He told us tonight, that's my last game coaching. Do you have thoughts about that and what this guy may have meant to the game?
Well, I sure do. I feel a distinct pleasure to be able to have said I played for the greatest coach maybe in any sport. But it's so wonderful the things that he's done and been able to accomplish, but then so bittersweet. But to have it end on a great note is great for him because he deserves everything.
Congratulations on all of this, and maybe Chris is going to talk over there. I just want to ask you one more thing, and that is you've gone through a metamorphosis as a hockey player in many ways. You've learned the complete game, and do you feel good about it in a way?
I really do. I think it's you kind of learn the game, and I think I was thrust into I don't know if it's the spotlight or with all the goals I was getting early in my career. That part of the game I never understood until I got to Dallas, and Coach Hitchcock and the rest of the stars that had been under that system taught me, and then I came here and tried to really excel in that to show them that I was more than just a goal scorer. And you're right, it is a great feeling, and I'm glad I got to do it.
Congratulations. Enjoy your cup and enjoy your golf season. I understand you got some good outerwear.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
All right, good luck. I think we're getting some reaction from Scott Oak here.
Okay, Scott, thanks very much. 6-year-old Griffin McCarty out there on his skates. That was his father Darren's first responsibility to get the skates on and let him enjoy the celebration. So it's a moment he's not going to forget, and neither will you. Where does this cup fit in the 3 that you've won here?
Well, I guess they say, and you understand, they're like your kids. They're all special in their own way, but I think you see what it is. You see out here, it's all about our team's a family organization. You see everybody out here. This is a big win, not only for the city, but for the guys who haven't won it before. I think it's special that way, just to be able to be involved, winning for guys like Dom and Freddie and Luke and Duke. It's tough to say. Right now, it's just overwhelming. We accomplished what we wanted to do all year, and it's awesome.
Darren, it wasn't easy. You went down 2-0 to Vancouver. You trailed Colorado 3-2. Was your faith ever shaken? Did you ever lose sight of the goal?
You know what? It really wasn't. We got a saying around here. It's Red Wing hockey is never to do anything the easy way, and we sure did that. We were down 2-0 in the first series, down 3-2 to Colorado, and down 1-0 in this series. But I think that a lot of people talk about the age in our team as being old, but I think tonight we really proved this experience.
And how about that age factor? 8 players, 35 years of age or over. Kenny Holland went out and signed 3 guys in their 30s in the offseason. But in the end, did age work in your favor?
I think definitely it did. You can't beat experience, and the chemistry in our hockey club, it's unbelievable. The big talk before the season was you're bringing in a guy like Brett Hall and Dominik Hašek and Luc Robitaille. There's a clash of egos, but we've all been on the same page all year. Truly love being around each other and had a great time all season long and through the playoffs, and this just caps it. This is a goal we set at the beginning of training camp. This is what it's all about. This is why you play the game.
All right, Darren, thanks for your time. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Here's Scott Russell with Chris Chelios.
Thanks very much. Yeah, there's Dominik Hašek in the foreground, and here is Chris Chelios. Boy, yeah, cheers, guys. Fantastic. 16 years, a long time, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been long, but it was well worth it, hey, Dom? So that's right. Me and Dom were together in the finals, and then we haven't been there since. Well, Dom was there a couple years, but what a great experience this is. I don't care how old you are, 20 or 40. This is something else, and we did it at home. We had high expectations. We came through for the city, for the Illiches, for each other, and I'm so happy for Dom. I was just as happy for myself, but Dom, this is what he was looking for, and he got it, and he's done it all.
What was it like, Dom, knowing that he was in front of you there sometimes?
I mean, I was so glad, he was the only player I knew in the past when I came to Detroit. We played in Chicago together, and I was so glad to play with Chelly again. And before the season, we never talk about it, but it was our dream, I'm sure, and he said he's happy for me, I'm happy for him, buddy.
Does he inspire confidence? Is that what it is?
Well, you see how he plays. He's fiery in there, and he competes, and I love that. He gets mad when he has to, and everybody played for Dom. Tom plays for the team. We broke our backs for each other. So, like I said, I couldn't be happier for this guy here. This is all he wanted.
Doesn't it feel like a long grind to get this done?
It doesn't feel like it. It is. We couldn't believe it's over still. So I got to say hi to all the guys in Malibu.
Can you mention we go back to Carolina?
No, we don't want to go to Carolina. Dom made sure of that. But no, like I said, it's a long, tough road. And we were talking about it earlier. Dom's been there 3 times. I've been there 4 times. And it's hard to believe 19 years and you're only there 4 times, but there's guys that never get there. So we're really fortunate, and we thank our lucky stars we're in this position now.
You wanted to say hi to some people, and I suppose family is important at this time. And
yeah, first I'm going to apologize to everybody for not getting them tickets and ignoring all your messages. So I'm sorry about that, but this is why we did it. And then the guys in Malibu, my Irish mob friends there, came through for you, and we'll see you in 2 weeks, boys.
Congratulations to you both again, Dominik Hašek, Chris Chelios. Way to go, guys.
Thank you, Scott. Well, we'll continue our coverage here of the Detroit Red Wings' victory in the Stanley Cup. That was the scene, of course, on February the 24th in Salt Lake City. Brendan Shanahan and Stevie Yzerman joining Ken Morrow as only the second and third men ever to win gold and a cup in the same year, flanking the silver medalists Chelios and Hall. We'll be back in a moment.
I talked with Kenny about that, and I said the only thing I don't want to do is have a schedule to watch a lot of games and travel around, because I really want to spend the time with my family. They're kind of scattered a little bit, and I'm glad I'm going to stay with the Red Wings. They can always decide what they want to do. If there's anything that maybe go some trips and do a little scouting, but Kenny will be very understanding.
Scotty, it's funny. I'm going to share a story with people that
Conn Smythe Trophy. He's just speaking to the press as we speak. Now, let's go to Thomas Holmstrom. Was huge throughout these playoffs. Scott?
Yes, Ronnie, certainly was, and Thomas scored a goal tonight. A nice pass from Igor Larionov. Congratulations on the victory, and perhaps maybe a thought, first of all, about Nick Lidström, another Swede winning the Conn Smythe Trophy and a great hockey player. Can you talk about your teammate?
What could you say? It's just all good, and he's one of the, he's the best in the whole world, and he's been really good for all the years he's been here, and he's just getting better, and we're lucky to have him on our side, because he's so hard to play at, and he doesn't go around a hit, but he's cutting off guys' angles and all that, so making unbelievable plays, and he's just great out there.
Look at your goal tonight, and you were the recipient of a nice pass from Igor Larionov, and you have worked with this guy for quite a period of time. Can you tell us what that's been like, and to get goals like that?
Wow, Igor there, it's a great pass, and I go hard to the net, and it was just a good goal in that time of the game, and Igor is my roommate too, so we've been talking a lot, and it's just fun to hear lots of Soviet stories and how it was for him when he was growing up, and I'm just blessed to be part of this team.
Third Stanley Cup victory for you, Thomas, and you're a little older now, maybe a little wiser. Can you think about this and how it might be different, or the same feeling as it is the first time?
Oh yeah, my first year was a great experience too. I just played one game, but it was just a great experience, and I think that helped me the second year. We win the cup again, and it's a great organization, Red Wings, and right now, what can you say? It's top of the line, everything.
You've had the benefit of working with Scotty Bowman, who announced that he will not coach after tonight. Do you have a thought about him?
I don't believe him though. He's 9 Stanley Cups, and it's just amazing how good he is, and how he coaching. He got that feeling. He put out the right guy in the right spot, and that's something. It's not something you can learn. You just have the feeling, and that's why he got 9 cups too.
What do you plan as a celebration when you get to have your time, your personal time with the Stanley Cup?
You know what? I haven't planned anything. We didn't plan anything for celebrating this game, because we have to play a game first, and just bring the cup coming home, and probably a big party, and lots of happy smiles, and it's just great to have it back home in my hometown for the 3rd time.
Can I ask for a reaction to this? A teammate of yours, Fredrik Olsson, who's been a long time in the league without the Stanley Cup, and finally a chance for him to share in a victory with you tonight.
That's the best part, to see the guys that have been playing so long time, like Luke Robitaille and Hašek and a couple other guys, and it's it's awesome to see they got the cup and the ring and everything. It's you see guys playing all their life, and then they don't win the cup, and just blessed to be part of this.
Thomas, congratulations on the victory tonight, and good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thomas Holmstrom, who was Kelly Rudy's choice, perhaps, as the Conn Smythe Trophy winner. No, apparently you weren't. Congratulations, Matthew. Thanks. Fantastic. This is a victory for you, which I suppose is particularly sweet, because it's one where you were active more than the other 2 Stanley Cups.
Yeah, I mean, it's... Ever since I've been here, they brought me in slowly, and it was more of a sit and watch, and I have my share of days in the press box, and that's why they brought me here. They said, watch these guys, watch the veterans, Nicklas Lidström and Chris Chelios, and these guys, I'll cherish them forever. I really look up to them, and now this time around, I was a black ace, and I got it from the sideline, and now to sweat through it, and to get all the bumps and bruises. Everybody's tired, everybody's hurting, but it's a great feeling, and it's all worth it.
What was kind of neat was your defense partner was Steve Duchesne, and here's a guy who's been around for a long time. Yeah, the Toothless Wonder, and he had not won the Stanley Cup after a lot of years in the league. Did you talk about it a little bit, and how much he wished and desired the thing? And you had experienced it as a young player.
He's my roommate too, and we talked to a little briefly how it was like, but I didn't have to say anything, because you just saw the way he played out there. He just he was driven, and he played unbelievable. His game stepped up, and as for everybody else, but I think that's just, a little something. I think when you watch Colorado the last few years, wanted to win it for Ray Bourque, and I think it was the same way with us, with Dom, Luke, and Steve, and the guys that haven't won it. So I think it was a little bit of the same way, and it's just it brings a tear to your eyes to see these guys working for 15, 16 years, and coming close sometimes, but not winning it. But they certainly deserved it, and Steve played great.
Nice to see you out there and an active part every night, and congratulations on the victory, Matthew.
Merci beaucoup.
All right, Matthew Dandenong. Here's Boyd Devereaux of Seaforth, Ontario, and congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah, what's it like?
Well, it's like you're afraid to let yourself relax or celebrate, right up until this point, you know what I mean? Because you don't want to lose focus, and finally when the buzzer rings, it just all slips off your back. So I don't know. It's just the weight's lifting. It's just been an amazing year, and I feel really lucky to be part of this.
Listen, there was a time when you had that concussion after your Edmonton days when we all thought this may not happen for you. What does it mean now that you've been able to persevere and say, yeah, it can happen?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was. I was really lucky that summer. It was. I didn't know whether I was going to come back, and I was lucky to have the support of a lot of family, friends, and teammates, and. We saw it after every last option, and I'm so glad I did that. And, look, 2 years later, I joined the Detroit Red Wings, and now Stanley Cup, part of a Stanley Cup winning team. So, I don't know, it's been an amazing ride, and like I said, I just feel really fortunate. It's been, I feel really lucky, and don't take a moment for granted.
Brett Hull, he talked to you a lot as the cup's coming in the room. Murray, can you show the cup there? They're pouring a little champagne into it. And listen, I wonder, you worked with Brett Hull, you talked so much. It looked like almost there were little pointers going on. What was it like? Yeah.
Hey, Kitchener!
Take a drink of that. Beautiful.
Oh, man.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy. There he is, the toothless wonder going for the cup there. Fantastic.
Oh, man.
So what was that like? Brett Hull, I mean.
Yeah, Hully, it's like, you know, to get to play with basically a legend all season long, and it was so great because Pavel and Hully and I got a picture with the cup on the ice, and it's just been an amazing year that way. And you know, yeah, he teaches you little things. I think I've learned a lot from him this season, and he's just such a great guy. He's a funny guy, and I really feel lucky to have got to know him as a buddy. So.
One last question for you, Boyd, and that is, Scotty Bowman told us tonight, that's it, and he showed some confidence in you, didn't he?
Yeah, it was. You know, it was difficult last season. You're in and out of the lineup, and you know, but once you kind of prove to Scotty that you're reliable and he trusts you, then you know he kind of sticks with you, and he's not afraid to use you. And I know I've learned a lot from him, and you know, it's really sad to see him go, but he's had an amazing career, obviously, and I feel you know being able to play for a legend. So. It's just another part of the magic of this team this season. So,
on a personal note to finish, who are the people you think of at a time like this, Boyd?
Well, I think of all my family and friends, you know, back home in Seaforth and Stratford and Kitchener area, and my fiance Leah, and all my family that came here tonight, and. Special hello to the Wildcats in BC. So
way to go, Boyd! Congratulations, enjoy it.
Thanks, Scott.
Here is the toothless wonder. Way to go, buddy! That's fantastic.
Thank you so much.
I know. Yeah. Whoa. Is this your daughter?
That's my daughter.
What's her name?
Dylan.
All right. Well, congratulations to you both, Steve. And I tell you what, we asked for you the other night after the second period, and John Hahn, who's over there holding the cup, said, no, Duke's not going to do it because he had 6 teeth knocked out. And he runs right over and he's on there. You know, congratulations. And when you put it all together and you finally get it done, what's the immediate feeling?
You know, it's unbelievable. There's so much emotion going on. You want to cry. You want to kiss everybody. And, you know, I've been kissing a lot of these guys. I'm not gay or anything, but I just love kissing them. It was great. Yeah. I can't really describe it. And it's just the best feeling ever. So I just hope everybody in this league get a chance to go through this.
Well, the Red Wings are obviously a special team. What makes them so great, other than just the great players?
Well, you know, it's like nobody complain. You know, guys play 9 minutes. A guy like Robitaille that played 9 minutes, never complain. That's how close we were as a team. And you saw it at the end. These guys gave us the cup first. The guys that didn't win the cup, and that's how special we were as a group. Great bunch of guys, and that's you know, thank you for the Red Wings. Thank you to the Red Wings for keeping me and making me play, and it's just been unbelievable.
A quick word about Scotty Bowman.
He's the best. You know, he's the best. I love him. I kissed him too, and he told me that might be his last. And you know, it's just he's the best. What can I say? He's the best. He keeps you on the edge all the time. He knows how to get you motivated, and you know, I will never experience something like this again.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you so much.
Steve Duchesne. Ron?
All right, Scott. When Scotty was in his first Stanley Cup final, most of these guys, well, Dominik was born, but Shanahan, Lidström, Fedorov, the majority of the Red Wings weren't even on the planet. And they're not on it right now. We'll come back with more of our coverage. Don Cherry will have some thoughts to close things out and a little more after this. Grown young. He decried the fact that the draft went from 20 down to 18. He said, look at Andy Bathgate, 5 years in the minors before he came up and won the Hart Trophy. So he would love a veteran team coming through the way they did. There are the Ford 3 stars, Brendan Shanahan, Steve Yzerman, and Dominik Hašek. 3-1 the final as Detroit captures the series 4-1. Let's take one more look at the Motor City and the celebration outside JLA. Well, you can't really tell from there, but that's the Detroit River and Riverside Drive just outside JLA, where they're pouring into the streets for the third time in 6 years. Just going to get a little reaction, just trying to determine whether we can get back in the locker room. There's Brendan Shanahan. Boy, just a great 2-goal effort tonight. And after that penalty, I'm sure no happier man in the building when he hit the empty net. And you talk about egos. Brett Hull didn't score his first empty net goal, Don, until his 500th NHL game. He had 364 goals.
Well, he didn't like them.
He didn't like them. He loved to share.
Cheap, he thought. He liked. No, he just thought he didn't want to set any record scoring an empty net. I've seen Bobby do that many times. He would not score in an empty net either.
100 goals in his playoff career and 62 for his dad.
By the way, his brother, Bobby Hull Jr., said it would be 4-1. He missed it. 3-1.
Yeah, he was dynamite. Well, how about sort of an overview of why you think they...
Well, the best team won. I mean, let's face it, right from the start, where they have over 100 points, they were the best team, best coach, like I said. They should have won. And one thing I liked about the game was that there was not a penalty called to win the game. There wasn't like a foot in the crease like there was before. It was a good, solid game. Best team won. No controversial stuff near the end that they could say this and say that. And it was a great run by Hurricanes.
And it doesn't make you feel any better if you're in Ottawa, Calgary, or Edmonton, but you have to hand it to Mike Ilitch for, right back
Mr. Ilitch, as we were talking a long time ago, we first started this, it's okay to say, yeah, he got 13 home gates and he got all that home gates and he got all this money coming in. There's other teams in this league that get a lot of home gates too, that don't put the money where his mouth is. You imagine if they hadn't won all the money that he put out, he had the guts to do it, and more power to him, and that's why everybody loves him. When the owner comes out here, everybody loves Mr. Ilitch.
Alex Faulkner, Bob, it's a long time ago that Newfoundland was going crazy over the NHL, and I'm sure you were just, you hadn't even made it to Hockey Night in Canada back in, 63 or 64, but you've sure made it since.
Yeah, tried to, and here we are again with another Stanley Cup in the books. And this was another exciting, pleasant victory, When you meet so many of these players, and Harry lives very close to Scotty Bowman, they're good friends on the golf course and whatnot. And over the years, we both have gotten to meet Steve Yzerman and so on and so on and so on. And they're such great guys. And Don said it, this is the best team, good for Carolina. They played their style of hockey, kept it close, 1 goal, 2 goals at the most. And at one, it was a 3-0. But other than that, it was a tough grind for a team like Carolina to do it against a big team like Detroit. The better team won the Stanley Cup, no doubt about that.
I know how Carolina feels. In 1982, the Vancouver Canucks ran into an awful windstorm in the New York Islanders. And when you get as close as Carolina did, or as we did then, and you see the cup presented, you know then that this is the toughest championship in pro sport to win. 2 months. It's an amateur tournament. The players don't get paid nearly what they get paid all year to get their name on this, and yet play through all kinds of injuries. And hats off to Scotty Bowman, my neighbor and good friend. He has proven without a doubt no peers in this business.
He set the numbers, like I said earlier, that I think will stand forever. Most wins in the Stanley Cup, and now 9 Stanley Cups to his credit, 1 more than the legendary and great Toe Blake. Scotty, we're going to miss you. Back to you, Ron.
And as you know, gentlemen, Toe Blake's last cup came against Scotty Bowman. Toe Blake gave Scotty advice. He said, just keep stressing, keep the puck out of your own end. You'll score enough goals. He says, don't get carried away with offense, and make sure you play the other guys. And the other guys were huge. Chris Straper, Kirk Maltby, and Darren McCarty, that grind line. There's Kirk with Scott. Scott?
Right, Ron, the grind line now flies again. Here's Kirk Maltby, been here 6 years for the Red Wings, 3 Stanley Cups. How's this one feel in comparison to the others?
Excellent. I mean, you can't really say one's better than the other, and it's a goal we set at the beginning of the year, especially with the expectations and the team we had, and with the Olympics and the guys getting the medals and all sorts of things like that, and records and milestones, this just caps it off.
You are in many ways part of the foundation of the hockey club. And you'll get some champagne for it. You and Chris Draper and Darren McCarty, can you tell us about the threesome and what that association has meant? Chelios is putting on some music.
Yeah, this has been our song all playoffs. So, playing with Darren and Chris is a privilege. Those guys, I think we all complement each other well. We bring a little something different to the table, and it's nice to see the confidence that the coaches showed in us to go out there and play against some of the better lines. And, it's just a great feeling to help contribute to a team like this with the personnel we have.
Interesting that you should say that, the confidence that the coach shows in us. Scotty Bowman said tonight, that's my last game. You've had the, I suppose, great privilege of working with him for some time.
Well, you guys know firsthand how Scotty is. He's a very, very intelligent hockey man, and it's going to be weird without him here, but if there's a way for him to go, this was a great way, and we're glad we're able to get another championship for him, and now he's going to get to watch some hockey and spend time with his family.
As you skate on this team, can you give us a measure of how great a hockey team this is? We get to watch it from above and from outside the glass. Is it that great?
Well, we're a very lucky bunch of guys to have ownership to put this team together, and I mean, to have the guys that are going to be in the Hall of Fame and to play with them, practice with them, go for dinner with them, and all sorts of things. I mean, I never thought I'd have that opportunity. And I mean, there's a bunch of different characters, and everyone came together at the right time, and we did a great job. And I mean, I feel very privileged to be on this team and play with the guys that we did.
Kirk, congratulations, and to Chris and Darren too.
Okay, thanks, Scott.
Kirk Maltby, run.
Scotty won the 93 Calder Cup with Cape Breton. Billy McDougall is smiling somewhere. Remember, he had 52 points in the playoffs that year for Cape Breton. There's Jim Nill, Kenny Holland. How about Dave Lewis, Barry Smith? A lot of people have been here a long time. Bob McCammon. Back in a moment.
We have the papers here. You think they were ready or what? I'd like to say a special thanks to Joey Kosher, one of my buddies who did all the video. I know, yeah, Joey Kosher. And my favorite on the team, who doesn't get the credit he deserves, he kills all the penalty, is Chris Draper. And we didn't have him on. And I just want to say, all you guys, he's one of the best.
He's got a lot of family. He's probably up with his family. Well, I want to thank the viewer as we go off. We're going to go into the room again. But, you know, this tradition, it's the 50th anniversary of the octopus throwing. It's the 50th anniversary of Queen Elizabeth. A lot of 50th anniversaries going on here, including our own. But this scene of celebration, I just go right back to what you said, Don, about Steve Yzerman. From the expansion in 1967 to the time they got Yzerman in 83-84, they only made the playoffs 2 out of 17 years. They had been in such a funk for about 40 years. Scotty Bowman came in and maybe helped show him the way to win. But Yzerman was definitely the guy that carried this club. Heart and soul for Canada at the Olympic Games when they were in dire straits, and same thing when they were in tough against Vancouver, backing Hašek, getting the critics off his back. You're seeing the names of our technical and production staff. I was sort of shocked to hear that Windsor, Nova Scotia mightn't be the birthplace. That's to be continued. It sounds like a split between Montreal and Halifax.
Well, everybody knows it's Kingston, so we'll go along with it.
They call this Hockeytown, USA. Look, there may be a lot of ambiguity about where and when this whole thing got started, but sure happy to say for the 50th year in a row, it's ended on Hockey Night in Canada.
From the Sports Central Studios, your #1 source for playoff coverage, here are Mike Toth and Mark McAllister.
Yes, indeed. Whether you're a hockey fan or not, it is indeed done. They stacked their roster full of all-stars, and Detroit was able to capture the cup.
Yeah, there were a lot of questions, Mark, surrounding Game 5. Would anyone throw an octopus on the ice to honor the Red Wings' win? Would Anna Kournikova be in the building to celebrate with Sergei, or is she still running around with that rotten Enrique? And which one of the Wings will win the Conn Smythe Trophy? Yes, they were ready for a Motown hoedown tonight, and not many people believed the Hurricanes could spoil the party. I would hope that there was one man in the building who thought that maybe they could spoil the party. That man right there, Paul Maurice and his Hurricanes, but they've had a problem scoring goals. Scotty Bowman, meantime, can pass Toe Blake with his 9th Stanley Cup as a coach. First period, here we go. Wesley goes to Capman. He couldn't put a cap on anybody in the playoffs, and he doesn't put one in the net right there as Hašek covers up. And then also with a shot, it gets to Urbe, but it's not in, and then Igor, the wily veteran, spots Lucky Luke. Oh, he's not lucky there. He nails the post, so the game remains scoreless. Let's watch the Wings go to work in the power play. Yzerman with a shot. Now, it's going to be stopped by Urbe right in the breadbasket, and then Steve Yzerman, he goes over to the cameraman and he says, will you watch your flash? Quit flashing me. I don't appreciate that. So the photographer says, no more flashing. It's only right in the Stanley Cup final. Ward, Hedigan can't control Fedorov. You're better off with Fedorov. This one's for you, Anna. But Urbe makes the save. And then Draper goes to Kirk Maltby. The shot over the net. Everybody looking to go upstairs on Artur Zerbe, but they went to the penthouse with that shot. We were scoreless through one. Second period, Larionov to Holmstrom. Nudges that puck home. Beats Urbe. Finally, we have a goal in the game, and it was 1-0 for the Red Wings as they celebrate at the bench. Now, as a wing penalty expires, Rod Bittemore with the centering pass to Battaglia. Hašek making like a snowman. Oh, Bates can't believe his poor puck luck. And then Svoboda rubbing out Chris Draper. That's 2 minutes for looking so good. And on the ensuing power play, Fedorov goes to Brendan Shanahan. And people, this is what I'm talking about. You got to put that puppy upstairs. The one-timer beating Urbe, and that's why the Red Wings might get another cut. Canes go to work in the power play. Kind of a strange play. Sean Hill goes to Jeff O'Neill. The shot, now it appears to hit the post. Ron Francis, he's an old guy, but he's still got the good vision because Ronnie believes it was in. They go upstairs for a review and have a look. Ring around the rosy. Yeah, definitely. That puck went into the net and point to center ice because there's no question that was a goal. So the Canes finally have something to work with. And then Yzerman with a shot. A rebound, Robitaille. He can't get the shot off. Oh, he had that itchy trigger finger, but he couldn't pull it. And then Larionov with a nice pass to Holmstrom. Look at that. That's why they call him the Russian Wayne Gretzky, or Larionov. That's a great pass, and the Holmstrom can't get it upstairs. Again, they're trying to do that. Final minute now. The Canes' net is empty. Carolina with some pressure, but then watch what happens.
Cleared up on the boards. Dumped away to the line. There goes Shanahan. Empty net. Scores! Shanahan does it. That's gonna be it, baby. That is gonna be it, baby.
Knight led the defenseman in scoring.
Nicklas Lidström
And
wins
it's
the Conn
terrific to
Smythe
see.
Trophy. And there is what everybody wants. And Scotty Bowman, he's back on the blades. He did that a couple of years ago, and there's good reason why he's going for a victory lap, because after the game, Scotty Bowman announced that he is retiring. He has coached his last game, but Scotty Bowman becomes the first coach in NHL history to win 9 Stanley Cups. Darren Millard is standing by with a very special guest down at the Joe Louis Arena. If it's anything to do with the hockey news, Darren Millard is right in the middle. Darren, take it away.
Yeah, Dominik's shaking up the champagne right now. He's enjoying this one at its highest level. I know that you wanted this so bad, and that's why you signed with the Detroit Red Wings. Now it's mission accomplished.
No doubt. I tell you one thing. I'm so happy today, and I'm so glad I made 1 year ago. About 1 year ago, I made a decision. I asked to be traded to Detroit Red Wings. To play for this organization with such a great teammates and great coaching staff. I'm so happy to be part of it and to raise the Stanley Cup today. I cannot describe the feeling, what I can say.
Well, I saw you racing around the ice after Brendan Shanahan scored that third goal. I wasn't sure whether you're ever going to stop skating out there.
I don't remember what I was doing. It came so automatically. I was so happy for myself, for everyone in this building, and for my family. And then I look at a jumbotron. I still saw 44 seconds left. So I knew I have to be ready and calm down, and you never know what could happen in 44 seconds, but I never seen such an excited building like this building, like Joe Louis Arena last minutes of the game, and then when we raised the cup, I never seen anything like that. It was fantastic.
Was this season a bit of a challenge compared to other years, because you probably didn't get as much work per game as you were used to in Buffalo?
No, in Buffalo I had lots of work, and I enjoyed to play there, no doubt. It was good organization, but and one time we came so close to win the cup, a couple of years ago. But it came to the point I felt I cannot do it in Buffalo. The team was changing, and my dream was, I had only one dream. It was to win the cup. Nothing else I want to accomplish. It was about the cup. Everything was about the cup, and that's why I asked. And you know what? At one point, in Buffalo, maybe they didn't like my decision. On the other hand, I'm so happy I play with these teammates with so many stars, but we didn't win because of the stars. We won because we were so hungry to win the cup, because we were so dedicated, from the first game of the season until the very end.
You talk about the one goal winning the Stanley Cup. Now that is accomplished, we're looking ahead to next year. Scotty Bowman has already announced his retirement. What is your status, and where do you lie?
I want to wait a couple of days. I want to enjoy this moment, and through the weekend, I will make final decision with my wife. On one hand, there is nothing sweeter than to win the cup. On the other hand, there's so much work and so much pressure and everything. And
is it 50-50 right now?
I would say 50-50. My wife and me, we make it together, and like I say, there's no better feeling than to win the cup.
Are you ever going to take this gear off?
If I have a time, all the time somebody asks me to talk to someone, so I don't really care, I just want to enjoy this moment.
Congratulations, Dominik.
Thank you.
He's enjoying the moment. He might just stay here all night. We'll let Dominik continue right on through. He's got the champagne, and he's got the gear on, he's got the jersey. You know what? He's in his moment of glory right now. An Olympic gold medal in 1998. He also has the Stanley Cup championship in 2002. As Dominik keeps the party going. Again, Dominik Hašek's status about 50-50 for next year. But we all know that the greatest coach in National Hockey League history has called it a career. Scotty Bowman announcing his retirement after the Detroit Red Wings clinched the Stanley Cup tonight.
No, I made up my mind in February. This was it. Just too much. It's a pretty constant chore to be a head coach of an NHL team. It's it starts in September. My family has grown up supporting me in hockey, and my wife especially. And I've got a granddaughter now, and I got my son his wife's going to have a baby in late August, and I think it's just time to enjoy what the other people enjoy quite a bit of too. one of the regrets you have as a coach, when I had the big team in Montreal, I was coaching in the 70s. Now that you see replays of games and you never really get a chance to tell those guys how good they really were. Although now I do it because I see a lot of them. They know how I feel about them, and I'm going to tell these guys the same thing, that not just the Hall of Fame players that are going to be in the Hall of Fame, but all the players. I felt good about my coaching career because I know how precarious it is. I mean, more changes today in the league, and that's the thing I probably enjoy more than the 9 cups as a coach and the other as a director of personnel. But I never got fired as a coach, and that's what I think that's my proudest moment. This is the way I wanted to end up my career with the Red Wings, and now I don't know. I mean, there's always something that they'll find for me, and I guess it'll depend how busy I want to be.
Scotty Bowman retiring from the National Hockey League. Sergei Fedorov is going to be around for a number of years yet. You enjoyed a very successful Stanley Cup Championship Series flying out there. How does this one compare to 1997 and 1998?
Well, back then I was a little bit younger and it was like a rush through me, and I don't think so I enjoy as much as I did this year. But it was a long way, and at some point it was very doubtful way. But I'm glad we came on top and everything. And hey, it's only rain. It's not even champagne.
So you're smart. You got the hat.
Right. I put it on. Yeah, I enjoy playing for Scotty. He's been a great leader, odd leaders at some times, but most important thing, we end up on the winning side, and I think that was most important thing for all of us, because our goal was the best goal in hockey and toughest goal to reach, Stanley Cup.
Somebody talked about it the other day, I believe it was Brett Hull, accepting being the favorite from the start of the year on, and that was something that this team seemed to embrace. How come you guys were able to handle that so easily?
Well, I think it's been 82 games before playoffs, and it seems to me it's been sad and reading lots of things, good things about our team. But I guess we keep up with whatever being written about us. I don't think, not necessarily we were sort of reading that and believing in it, but we tried to do our job and play solid hockey, and that was most important, I think, in the world for us. I think we deal with the professionalism, experience. At times it was hard, and it wasn't necessarily true, because we had some slabs at the end of the season and all that, and the way we started playoffs wasn't a great way we behave and everything. But most important thing for us, we knew we had a chemistry together. We like each other, we talk about each other, and we had dinners together, and we went out together, and we get to know the oldest guy or youngest guy in the team very well. And I think most important thing, we trust each other.
Who are you happiest for among the guys that hadn't won a Stanley Cup before?
I would say young guys, because they would cherish that experience throughout their lives. But most important thing, old guys like Luke, like Dom, and like Steve Duchesne, because he was outstanding for us. Dom was outstanding. His ethics and work habits was outstanding, and Luke scored so many goals, and he was sort of at the end of his career, but he played so awesome that he got the chance to play for this team, and I'm happy for those guys. Simple as that, because they deserve the chance to win, and I'm glad we'll be able to come as a team and join the club.
Well, that's 3 Stanley Cup rings for you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Very lucky and very fortunate. I cannot stop smiling. Finally, it's sink through me.
Yeah, it's almost soaking through you right now, too. There you go. There's Sergei Fedorov of the Detroit Red Wings. Duck on through. He moves on, and we have an opportunity to talk about Nick Lidström, who wins the Conn Smythe Trophy for the Detroit Red Wings, the first European-born player to be named National Hockey League Most Valuable Player. That defenseman was so outstanding for the Detroit Red Wings, logging an immense amount of ice time. And I think while he was a frontline player before, and everybody knew about that, he really took charge of this Red Wing team in this playoff.
I didn't really think much about it. I just wanted to go in and play a solid game and get away with a win. I had a chance to win here at home, but we have lots of leaders on our club, starting with Dom back in net. He's very aggressive in net, as you all know. He talks a lot there out on the ice and tries to help us out a lot. And we have goal scorers that could have won it easily. So I'm very proud and a tremendous honor to receive this award.
This is the way I wanted to end up my career with the Red Wings, and now I don't know. I mean, there's always something that they'll find for me, and I guess it'll depend how busy I want to be.
This was his last game, and he set a record for 9 Stanley Cups, and he's the one who turned our organization around. He taught guys how to win, the sacrifices, what's important, what's not so important. Since he's come, he's turned it around, and we got 3 Stanley Cups since he's been here, and it's all he's directly responsible for it.
Make it 3 Stanley Cup championships in 6 years for the Detroit Red Wings, who went out last summer and got it done by acquiring Dominik Hašek, brought in Luc Robitaille, who was after that elusive first championship. Brett Hull phoned his agent, said, I want to go to Detroit, and he got his wish. And in the end, the oldest team in the National Hockey League is the one that wins its last game in the Stanley Cup playoffs, and we'll celebrate this 2002 championship series with champagne and the whole works. Mike?
All right, Darren, I hope you have a dry suit because we're going to check with you a little bit later in the show, okay?
All right, guys, I'm just going to have some fun and hang out and enjoy this moment and see if maybe I can just dry off for a couple of minutes, but I'll be back, don't worry.
Sounds good. Thanks, Darren.
Okay.
Maybe have a little champagne while he's at it. So the Detroit Red Wings capture the cup. It's back in original 6 hands. They win their 10th Stanley Cup in history.